Hello and welcome everyone to this recording of the Sinner's Cup. Basically, I'm going to set the stage. The Sinner's Cup this is not a steamy romance story. We don't go into any explicit adult situations or description of bodies. I assume that we're all adults. I assume that we all know what those experiences are like. We all know what a naked body looks like. That's not what the story is. It's more actually geared towards the ladies. Um, it's Gentlemen and ladies can enjoy this, but we're here to fascinate you. So let me just set the stage on what the story is about. We have these three sorority sisters who basically create an event, and that event gets out of control, and people get hurt, and things get pretty wild. So that is um, basically the synopsis of the Sinner's Cup. Um, what I'm going to do here, this is going to be kind of a podcast reading, casual. So I'm going to try not to interrupt too many times. I am the author. I'm one of the copyright holders. My name is Travis Adams Irish, Travis Griffith, if you want to go full legal. But my pen name is Travis Adams Irish. And again, yeah, this is the Sinner's Cup. So welcome. Zachariah David Hales also owns 50% of the copyright, and he helps me to coordinate these stories, make sure that they stay on track, and that we deliver really good, high quality content to you. So, props to Zach. Thank you so much for all your help on this as well. Let's go ahead and get into our story. So, we're going to start with this is episode 1, and the episode is entitled "Winner, Winner, Alpha Sinner." And here we go. We're recording now. A young man. There we go. Let me just start here. We're recording now. A young man whose voice lacked confidence and conviction said to his fellow college student, who was seated on a lavish king-size bed in the center of the room. Per his classmate's request, the young man didn't appear in the shot. The master bedroom of Alpha Nu Pi sorority was over 500 square feet with vaulted ceilings, colorful abstract paintings, and art from M.C. Escher, such as Hand with Reflecting Sphere and Relativity. A small black desk on the west wall housed a laptop, tablet, and various phones and video cameras for live streaming. A canopy bed at the center of the room took up much of the space, and it was adorned with black lingerie that its owner had used to decorate the top railings. The bedspread was black and white with abstract images of gods from Greek mythology. Katerina smiled at the camera from the center of the bed, a devilish grin lacking in sincerity and character. The 25-year-old wore a purple tank top with a V-cut neck, and her ample C-cup breasts were supported by a black sports bra. Long golden chain earrings dangled from her earlobes, and her upper thighs were covered by a leather skirt adorned with a silver zipper down the right side. Her long legs were clean shaven, with the skin glistening under the studio quality camera lighting. Katerina was dolled up with the finest lipstick and makeup that the market had to offer. Every centimeter of her eyes was a spectacle of smoky eyeliner and decadent eyeshadow, which played a part in the sultry look accentuated by her long brunette hair that ran all the way down to her bum. Katerina's Manolo Blahnik pumps were the same shade of red as her lipstick. And in her own words, they were the finest pair of F-me shoes that money could buy. She was an entrepreneur of Swiss descent, a self-made superstar in the college world, and not akin to giving apologies. Now, if you want to play music with this, your playlist selection right here would be called A Jingle of a Dog's Collar by the Butthole Surfers. So the song is The Jingle of a Dog's Collar by the Butthole Surfers. To my fellow college students, the young vixen began with contempt. I want to start off by apologizing to the leadership at Royal University in our great state of Atlanta, Georgia. She paused and flipped her long brunette hair as if to say, FU for all intents and purposes. Over the past few weeks, my sorority sisters and I have set the internet on fire with a playful new college game. We've had over 80 million views on our videos in just a short time, and I want to apologize on behalf of my sisters, Isavina and Valentia, who couldn't be here today because they had volunteered to help the community, and those commitments were set in stone. Katerina rolled her eyes and smirked at the camera, swinging her legs forward and back in a steady rhythm. As much as I wish to comply with the standards of Royal University, I want to say for the record, in a statement prepared by my attorney, that no criminal actions have been committed by my sisters or me. In fact, I'll go as far as to say that we have done nothing wrong. But I do want to apologize to the leadership at Royal U. She paused and interlocked her fingers, stretching her hands toward the camera for an awkward matter of seconds. Now, I'd like to start off tonight with a genuine disclaimer. Ladies, you should avoid inviting men to your home or apartments if those men are going to be driving. There are allegations toward my sisters and me that men have been hospitalized in an effort to win a one-on-one date with us. All I can say is don't try any of this stuff at home. It's apparently dangerous to have a desire for another person. And while driving under the influence of desire may not be illegal, some people in this society would like to make it that way. Can you imagine men getting arrested while driving every time they thought about a woman? I can't. But there have been terrible things said about my sisters and me. And I want to be 100% clear that we did not cause any suicides, nor did we inspire men to commit grand theft. We've also been blamed for the football team losing this week, and I'm not taking any of these things on my shoulders. So all I want to say tonight is that my sisters and I managed to capture the imagination of college students everywhere. Men and women were inspired and enthralled by the complexity and coordination that our team exhibited, and we brought you the most entertaining event since the O.J. Simpson freeway chase. Therefore, I do want to give you a warning, ladies and gentlemen. I want you to hold back your desire for one another. Don't try anything adventurous or groundbreaking, or someone might try to shut you down. When people truly try to express their freedoms, some groups want to hold them back. And who is the next target? How much quicker could you silence the First Amendment rights of 3 people because one person took a dark turn? Therefore, all I can say is that I don't know what happens next. But whatever you see my sorority sisters and me doing, please, please try to control yourselves. Don't smash store windows with your bare hands. Don't drive off the freeway into a pond. And never drive faster than the posted speed limits. Those warnings are for people lacking self-control. But for those who are strong, adventurous, and who like to color outside the lines, well then, we have the most epic show coming for you this weekend. Don't try this at home. 3 weeks earlier, the song selection here would be Mirror in the Bathroom from the 1980s. Alpha Nu Pi sorority was hosting a party on the main floor of their chic. Alpha Nu Pi sorority was hosting a party on the main floor of their chic sorority house, a 4,000 square foot home in a neighborhood just south of Royal University in Atlanta, Georgia. Partygoers were as diverse as the college itself, and each clique was represented by their informal ambassadors. Every detail of the main floor had been tended with care by the eccentric hosts. There was a 70-inch television in the main living room mounted next to a massive 8-foot, 3-pane picture window covered in white Venetian blinds. The furniture was sparse to allow for more standing room, but 2 leather sofas combined to form an L shape, and over a dozen black bar stools with leather seats adorned the walls. The artwork on the main floor was the same combination of abstract paintings and M.C. Escher pieces that one would find in the upstairs bedrooms. Great attention had been given to the lighting in every room, whether it was the calming blue lights around the 5-foot fish tank in the kitchen, or the warm incandescent bulbs that made every inch of the soft eggshell interiors appear expensive and modern. This look contrasted with the red solo cups that all the guests were carrying. In a final touch, the hosts had installed a DJ station on the 2nd floor balcony overlooking the living room. This gear allowed them to play any type of music or sounds to their guests, scratch records on turntables, and broadcast video sources to the massive television below. There were also half a dozen DJ party lights placed in strategic areas, mounted high on walls or the staircase, allowing the host to change the mood lighting with the click of a remote control. Security for the party was provided by Lug and Nuts, 2 massive 24-year-old bodybuilders who spent most of their days drinking and lifting weights. They were known for their white tank tops, clean-shaven heads, and comfy black shorts they wore every day, even in winter months. These twin brothers were half Polynesian and half Caucasian, and they were often seen near the front door of the house selling merchandise from a small card table in the entryway or screening guests for access to events. The merchandise sales were against university standards, but the students used this fact to their advantage by having the twins wear tank tops that read, "Contact me for illegal merchandise." "This party is lit," Levi Cutting exclaimed as he took a swig from a bottle of Samuel Adams Boston Lager and reclined back on the black leather sofa. "So don't be strangers, guys. Tell me about all these peeps. I'm getting Chicago vibes from this group." Victoria Schumann gazed into the eyes of her old middle school friend who had transferred to Royal University in recent days based on a recommendation from her and JD. She had a good buzz going and her blood was warm, so indulging in his biceps under a white muscle shirt, solid legs in tight blue jeans, short brown hair, and adorable brown eyes was something that her brain allowed. At the age of 20, Levi was the youngest member of the Greek God Society, a fraternity dedicated to men who were dedicated to making their bodies muscular and tan. She compared him to her other longtime friend, JD McEnroe, who sat on the left of Levi on the sofa. He was shorter in stature with dirty blonde curly hair, but he had a strong jawline and his blue eyes seemed mystic at times. JD made more conservative fashion choices, deciding on a black Nike baseball cap and matching polo shirt with white slacks and a tan belt. She teased her long blonde hair with her right hand, wondering if Levi found her hazel eyes endearing to him, or perhaps he was looking at her slight paunch that she had developed over the spring. Victoria stood in front of the sofa, wearing a bright orange turtleneck sweatshirt and white jeans with a black belt. The alcohol was making her feel awkward, so she draped her left arm halfway across her stomach and leaned against the living room wall in a pose that was as painful to hold as it looked. "I'll spill the tea," JD stated with confidence as he saw Victoria getting lost in the moment. "The sorority is called Alpha Nu Pi, and it's ruled by Ukaterina, Isavina, and Valentia. They all gave themselves Eastern European nicknames to sound more exciting. Except for Ukaterina, she changed her legal name to that one word. So under them, you've got Josh to the World, Lug and Nuts, and the Greek God Society, yourself excluded. They're seniors with a few years on us. Everyone in their group is 23 to 25. But," Victoria interjected, placing her smiling face between them, "they're also good, smart people. They're also good, smart people like Mathmaster Mike, Tigger, Beer Belly Kevin, Godzilla, and the effing video guy. What do you call him, the effing video guy? Levi inquired with a bright smile. You'll see, JD and Victoria said in unison without looking at one another. Why are JD and Victoria staring at us? Codzilla asked, brushing back her short purple hair and standing proud in her leather goth outfit. Staring how? Mathmaster Mike contemplated aloud as he raised his middle finger at the people in question. Freshmen shouldn't stare at sophomores. Mike was a stout guy with a build similar to Codzilla. He wore dark t-shirts and loved ripped jeans and white Converse with no socks. The effing video guy was passed out on a bar stool near him, looking pale with his unkempt hair and typical swap meet attire. I don't know. They're staring with their friend who transferred, the one that looks like he stepped off a bottle of cologne, she said, placing her hands on her hips. Come at me, bro. A new fragrance from Calvin Klein. Did you hear about Professor Descartes and Ekaterina? Mike prompted as his friend saluted them with middle fingers in kind. I heard there was shade, Godzilla acknowledged and returned the middle finger salute. What happened? It was a car accident in slow motion, he said, caught on camera by a legit news crew. It went something like this. Your music selection for this piece is going to be High Hopes by Pink Floyd. So again, the music selection, High Hopes by Pink Floyd. Earlier in the day, landscaping at Royal University emulated prestigious French gardens. It was a sprawling mixture of winding stone walkways embellished with lush green grasses and tall hedges placed in a methodical pattern of symmetry and grace. In addition to the landscaping, there were pristine white pillars, each equipped with powerful nighttime lighting fixtures that shone in subtle hues of the school colors during the evenings. Sergio Descartes, the newest multimillionaire from Silicon Valley, stood next to his wife of 6 months, Professor Eowyn Descartes. She was a tenured member of the staff at Royal University. Sergio was considered among the most attractive entrepreneurs in the digital world, and his 6-foot, 2-inch frame, short dark hair, and handsome chiseled Spanish features. Sergio was considered among the most attractive entrepreneurs in the digital world with his 6-foot, 2-inch frame, short dark hair, and handsome chiseled Spanish features. His wife, Eowyn, was also glamorous despite being 10 years his senior at the age of 38. She was fit and youthful with a tall frame, long legs, and a smile that made her the sweetheart of the higher education community. Eowyn wore a white dress with a deep V-neck and green earrings that matched the colors of the garden near them, which made her Greek olive skin stand out by contrast. Her husband appeared iconic in his black pinstripe suit, and they posed for some spectacular photos in front of an engineering building that they had just dedicated to the school. The building was constructed using as much glass as possible by applying modern construction techniques. It was 40% clear glass surfaces with black letters above the transparent doors that read Engineering Builders Building. Only the white steel frame was visible through the glass, and the entire interior could be seen other than the restrooms. The couple had just given their dedication speeches before a crowd of local members of the press and a few paparazzi who followed Sergio around almost weekly. Eowyn scowled when she noticed that Ekaterina was approaching their event from about 50 feet away. The Alpha Nu Pi sorority leader wore a lime green cocktail dress with an old-fashioned pearl necklace, pink Manolo Blahnik shoes, and a subtle white wrap that lined her shoulders. Here she comes to steal our thunder, Professor Descartes whispered to her husband through gritted teeth, watching the paparazzi and press swarm away from them. Okay, your music selection at this point is going to be Hunter by Ree Aya. Again, music selection, Hunter by Ree Aya. She can't steal our thunder, my love, Sergio replied, grasping her right hand in a bold gesture. Why would the most fearsome lioness take issue with a meerkat who rolls up, overdressed and unprepared? He kissed her on the cheek and stepped aside to let her handle the situation. I'll see you at home later, my dear. Don't go too hard on the meerkat, eh? Show a little mercy. The entrepreneur strolled away with a wink, blowing his new wife a kiss as he departed while showcasing his perfect smile. "Ooh, Katerina, pose for us," a rough-looking paparazzo pleaded to the attention queen. "What do you think of the new building?" "Oh, I don't know," she feigned with a smirk, striking a power pose with her right hand firmly against her hip. "I think it will provide a lot of jobs for window washers." "Mother effer," Professor Descartes said under her breath. "That's very clever, Ekaterina," she began with booming authority. "It's almost as clever as the little scheme that you run to sell merch and abuse the Royal University logo by using it in vulgar video streams. In fact, why hasn't the university called you out on the enormous income that you're gaining by using its grounds, logo, and students to create a reality show at no cost?" "I don't know what you mean," Katerina interrupted with a fierce gaze, dropping her sexy pose for a more innocent stance. "Everything we do is legit. If it wasn't, there'd be consequences." She glared at the professor and raised her eyebrows at her in a threatening manner. Okay, and she glared at the professor and raised her eyebrows at her in a threatening manner. Sure, of course. There wouldn't be consequences," the educator elaborated, pausing as if deciding whether to continue or not. Ekaterina turned and began to walk away, but Professor Descartes followed her at an aggressive clip through the hedgerows until the student was forced to turn and confront her. "But truly, the fact that you're providing Royal University with tens of thousands of dollars in free advertising isn't a motivating factor for them to look the other way?" the professor asked pointedly. "Influencer culture is a mindless form of celebrity status. You may also buy a biatch at the local animal shelter, some stray that was about to be put down, and give her an Instagram account. Then that biatch can sell toothpaste while she lies around on her ass, licking herself and barking at fire trucks." "Are you suggesting that Ekaterina is a selfish biatch?" the rough paparazzo asked, failing to conceal his ulterior motives as he snapped photos. Professor Descartes opened her mouth in surprise, horrified by the idea that she referred to a student as a biatch. "No, I wasn't referring to Ekaterina," she exclaimed. "I merely wanted to comment on the state of the world today." "You want to call me a biatch in heat?" Ekaterina demanded. "What about your little lady tramp ass running around with Sergio? You never got serious with Sergio until he got that huge payday." "I did not, for the record, call Ekaterina a biatch," Professor Descartes said in an uneven tone, straining to regain her composure. "That statement had nothing to do with her or her endorsement deals. However, I will go on record as to say that Ekaterina is morally bankrupt. She has not given a penny to charity, nor does she know what it means to serve her fellow humans. Ekaterina, like many young people, could learn a lot if they would just strive to learn a little. That's all I have." As the argument closed, the reporters swarmed around Ekaterina for a response, but she glared at the departing professor with self-righteous indignation. Back at the party. "That sounds intense," Codzilla reacted with surprise, turning her attention to the upstairs floor. "I wonder what they're doing now." A winding staircase with plush carpeting led to the 3 upstairs bedrooms where all the exclusive action took place. Each bedroom was equipped with cameras, microphones, and Bluetooth connections that allowed any sorority sister to broadcast to the television downstairs at any time. They were also ready to simulcast to the world on networks like YouTube, Patreon, and Twitch. Valentia and Ekaterina were lying next to one another on the bed in Ekaterina's bedroom. Both were wearing tight pink t-shirts with the Alpha Nu Pi logo in black lettering on the front and matching black skirts with the same logo printed in pink at the center of their rear ends. Valentia was a playful blonde with Swedish features, an athletic body, and a beautiful face that lacked in high cheekbones. that lacked the high cheekbones of her fellow sorority sisters. The 24-year-old was about 4 inches shorter than Ekaterina, but her legs were curvier and stronger. Valentia had hypnotic blue eyes, and her sturdy back and elegant posture made her appear statuesque despite her stature. They had been sharing a marijuana joint, and Ekaterina took the last drag before extinguishing it in an ashtray on a shelf high above the bed. She then plopped down on the pillows near the wall, laughing at the mania of a girl at an amusement park. Where's E Savage? Ekaterina asked, using her nickname for Isavina. She's watching her soccer game, Valentia answered with a sigh. Good God, we won't see her for the whole damn night, Ekaterina muttered with a grin. She got smashed the other night, and I woke up to her doing Brazilian jiu-jitsu on our couch, baby girl. Effed those cushions up. She paused for a spirited laugh with her roommate, then took on a serious demeanor. How much revenue are we averaging each month, Miss Treasurer? With all the revenue sources Valentia began, merch, millions of views online, and social media sponsors, we took in over $15,000 a month for the past few months. According to my friend on the DL, our streaming channels increased enrollments at Royal U by 20%, so nobody should F with us on the bylaws, other than your bestie, Descartes. If Professor Descartes were a man, I would cut her doink off. Ekaterina fumed. What the hell was that today, coming to me preaching? I saw in the news that she's suspended for a month without pay for what she said to you, Valentia empathized. What a goddamn gorgon. Isavina rushed into the room with fantastical energy, and she began to tickle the bellies of her sorority sisters in the bed, dominating them with her ground grappling moves. Go! My team scored, biatches! She shouted, standing tall and bouncing on the lower end of the bed up to the floor. Isavina was the shortest of the three women, but the 25-year-old also had the fiercest disposition. Her body was muscular with slight curves, and she wore the same tight pink t-shirt and black miniskirt that her sorority sisters had chosen. With her emerald green eyes, high cheekbones, Brazilian ancestry, and naturally dark hair pulled up in a ponytail, she was the envy of many world-class models. 1 second. Okay, stop, Miss Soccer Thing. Ekaterina laughed with a playful but defensive posture. We're overjoyed that your team scored, but go back to your game. Isavina stuck her tongue out at the two girls and mooned them on her way out of the room, smacking her right butt cheek. Yeah, your mama twice last night, Valentia retorted, and watched Isavina raise her left middle finger on her way out the door, and then turned her attention back to Ekaterina. Anyway, my friend Cora ties up her boat at the same dock where Sergio parks his yacht on Lake Lanier. So I thought that I might have her set up a meet cute for us. A meet cute or a meet cute? Ekaterina inquired with a predatory laugh, causing her roommate to chuckle. I could just see Professor Descartes getting ready to give him a mouth job, and she stops to lecture him instead. The young woman pretended to hold an invisible penis. Hey, the vixen laughed and snorted before gathering her composure again. Hey, I want you to know that the male patriarchy has become more and more toxic with this Instagram. This awful, she pretended to shake the invisible penis aggressively, giggling the whole time. Awful Instagram. Do you understand what I'm saying? Ekaterina pantomimed her hands, forcing the invisible penis to nod. Are you going to be good? She repeated the nodding gesture. Do you think my face is sexy? Her hands invoked a back and forth motion as if the invisible penis shook its head from side to side. Well, then you're just a biatch. The ladies rolled around on the bed, laughing until Ekaterina's phone chimed. She picked up the phone and looked at a text message. If I could make $1 for every hard doink that is trying to get with me, I'd have $10. Katerina stated, and both girls erupted in laughter. Seriously, though, how can I make some Jake off this situation? Somebody wants you? Valentia probed. He wants a meet cute? What's his address? A wicked smile developed on Katerina's face, and she texted the young man back for his address. After a brief pause, there was a chime, and she showed the address to her friend. That's like 20 minutes away, Valentia estimated. Bullstein, Katerina countered. It's 15 minutes away, Sleepy Joe. You want to bet on it? Hell yeah, Valentia retorted with a superior smile. But I want everyone at the party to know that we're betting. In the first floor living room, the television screen turned to black for a moment and everyone moaned. Then the screen showed a FaceTime conversation between Katerina and Steve Bakerfield. Katerina sat on her bed and with her t-shirt pulled up and her right breast almost exposed to the nipple. Someone in the room held the phone camera to capture the moment, and the video feed shook every now and then as a result. Wow, you look amazing, baby. I could handle all of that and more, Steve Bakerfield said as he began to unbutton his pants. No, Stephen, don't take off your pants, Katerina commanded with a pause and then waved her index finger at the camera. It's not that kind of party, but I have a naughty little proposition for you. How far would you say your apartment is from our sorority house? Katerina's boyfriend, Josh to the world, held his mouth agape, watching the video feed from the bottom of the stairs, and he crushed a red Solo cup in his right fist without thinking, spilling beer on the carpet. Every partygoer was looking at Josh and back at the television. Calm down, everyone. The video is not a mistake, Isavina announced to the living room from the upstairs balcony. The show is for your amusement, so enjoy. What the hell is she doing, Isavina? Josh demanded, brushing his long brunette hair aside and flexing his well-toned biceps. Don't lecture me, karate F-boy, Isavina declared. You're the one who told her, I want to be in an open relationship. So consider your relationship open for business. Enjoy the show, everyone. Josh rushed upstairs, his white t-shirt flapping behind him over his light blue jeans. Two doors slammed shut in suggestion. He staggered back toward the main floor with a grim expression. The longtime martial arts expert and actor glanced at the television again, and his face was flushed. Then, after a moment of silent angst, he jogged gracefully out of the sorority house. The whole party was quiet as they watched the events unfold on the main television. Katerina gestured for Steve Bakerfield to wait a moment. She took a few seconds to collect herself and then presented back to the camera. Where were we, Steve? Katerina asked. You wanted to know how many minutes I am from the sorority house, he answered. While you were talking, I found out it's 19 minutes away. Tell you what, Steve, she announced with frustration. I'm horny, I must confess, but I don't want to wait 19 minutes. As a matter of fact, if you can get here in 15 minutes, she raised the t-shirt to expose her right nipple, you'll get to see the rest, and I'll be yours for a rock solid hour. What do you think, Steve? Is that worth the extra effort? Yeah, hell yeah, Steve agreed. I'd love to be with you. That would make my year. Steve, she interrupted. Yes, he responded. You have 14 minutes and 30 seconds. These words came from a close-up of her luscious red lips in the video feed. It took Steve only a microsecond to realize what she was saying, and the 22-year-old leaped from his reclining chair, causing it to flip towards the wall. Steve could be heard clamoring around the room for his keys, shoes, and wallet. He had an average build and masculine Asian American features. His clothing was unspectacular, a simple cobalt blue long sleeve shirt and earth tone khaki pants. One last thing, Steve. Keep me on speakerphone from your car, Katerina teased. I want to hear your progress. So give me the play-by-play out loud. 14 minutes, Steve. 14 minutes to paradise. Okay, shoot. I'm running to my car, he conceded. On the video feed, Steve dove over the hood of his car, and you could hear his keys hit the ground. He cursed several times and soon recovered the keys before jumping into the driver's seat of the vehicle. His engine raced as it started up in a fury, and the white 2005 Honda Accord was soon traversing through the city. Its tires peeled out, and the vehicle reached dangerous speeds in a matter of seconds. The view of Steve was chaotic as his phone showed him at odd angles from the passenger seat. It was sliding around as he drove, creating unnerving footage for the viewers at the party. Steve was sweating profusely from his brow and visibly pale from the stress. I want you, Steve, 12 minutes. I'm wet enough to drown an Irishman. Ukaterina gasped. Holy mother of God, he stated, pounding the dashboard with his right fist and smiling. Please, please don't hit anyone. Steve, easy does it, easy. I want you so bad. Oh my God, I almost hit a family. Steve stopped the car. His breathing was heavy, and he peered around with suspicion to ensure that everyone was okay, wiping the sweat from his brow and closing his eyes. Steve, are you okay? Ukaterina asked. Yeah, I'm okay. Nobody got hurt, he reported. That's good, she praised condescendingly. If anybody got hurt, I wouldn't ever let you touch me. Are you in control now, Steve? What? He blurted out in shock. 10 minutes, Steve, Ukaterina pressed. Just give me more time, he demanded with aggression as his tires peeled out. I'm on my way. JD, Victoria, and Levi looked at one another with baffled expressions. Despite their mixture of shock and disgust, they couldn't take their eyes off the screen. Every nuance of Steve's struggle to get to his destination was captured by the shaky camera. With each new drop of sweat, they could almost feel their hearts pounding in his chest. The experience was intoxicating and provocative on so many levels. Although everyone felt dirty for what they were witnessing, they didn't want to be doing anything else at the moment. Outside the sorority house, a moth fluttered and flew through the night to a house across the street. It was flicked away by a hand that held a burning cigarette. A man sat on a balcony with binoculars, watching the sorority from only 50 yards away. The tablet in his lap showed their local network video feeds. A sinister smile grew on his face, and he leaned back to watch more action. All right, I'm going to pause for a quick drink break and come right back. Okay, hopefully you enjoyed that introduction. Obviously, we're setting up a very sinister, charismatic character in Ukaterina. You'll find that Isavina is probably one of my favorite characters. She's a bully. She's brash. She's also very charismatic, but in a different way. Isavina is just naturally, I wouldn't say a tomboy because she's very feminine, but she's just very bold in her nature. She's not intimidated by anyone. So I'd probably say that Isavina is kind of like a female honey badger. And then Falentia, basically Falentia is kind of Ukaterina's crony. She's out to please the alpha, So yeah, anyways, that's kind of the introduction. For the other college students, we get into their characters a little more as we go. And I wanted to again have this kind of some stereotypical cliques that these people are part of, yet all these characters, I wanted them to be really gray in their execution. And as Zach and I were talking about the plot, making sure that we don't go off into the weeds, into kind of any kind of crazy ideas. We're keeping everybody pretty grounded. and hopefully that should provide an experience that's realistic, because we don't want to have the typical Disney hero villain, spiel. We want to take real life where, depending on your point of view, this person might be a hero, and depending on another point of view, they might be a villain. They might be a super villain. So that's really what I'm taking here. I'm not creating the typical protagonist antagonist structure. This is not your standard story. So there is a lot of focus, especially in the beginning, on the antagonists. But again, people cross the line on both sides. People make mistakes on both sides here. Those are my favorite types of stories. You'll find that with my style, I like the double cross and the triple cross. I like the sucker punch. I like to give the reader enough runway so that they can see something coming, but to have them be delighted when they don't see it coming. So essentially, that's really the thoughts around episode 1 establishing here. So you'll notice that I'm not speaking the swear words that are in asterisks. I don't know if I mentioned that already, but I want to make this story accessible to everyone. So please indulge me in that. For those who are reading the story that are religious, I put the asterisks in, and I'm not pronouncing those words because I want more people to be able to enjoy this. And those of you who do know what those words are, you certainly, in your mind, you know exactly what they are, how they sound, and such. So it shouldn't be a big deal. If you don't know what F asterisk asterisk K means, I'd be shocked, especially if you're the one that wants it to be uncensored. So indulge me in that. Again, I just want a bigger audience to be able to enjoy it, and then all of us can kind of collectively get together on this. So please put your comments down below. I apologize. I know it's kind of a rough read through. I'm doing this all in one sitting. I don't have time to sit and cut together a perfect audio, but I am one of the copyright holders, the author, and so you are getting it from the source. We will be doing a professional grade audio. My business partner Zach is working on that, so we'll be doing a professional grade audio of episodes 1 through 4. And that will be available on Audible and iTunes. However, for legal reasons, we can't post those, or we can't post that audio, professional grade audio, until after the 1st of September. Yeah, the 1st of September is the earliest that we're allowed to post, because of our contracts with various different entities and such. I don't want to get into it. But anyways, yeah, hopefully you're enjoying this. We're going to keep it on a really entertaining clip. I want it to be accessible for everyone. I want it to be, fascinating and just an adventure, kind of in the vein of John Hughes, if you think about that. The high-spirited John Hughes movies with a little bit of an edge, just mixing in a drop of, 50 Shades of Grey, but with much better writing, let's say. I hope I can make that argument. I'm pretty confident. Not to be arrogant by any means, but I spent it's been a long time making sure that my prose was strong. Anyways, I don't want to keep rambling on. Put your feedback in the comments. As we develop these episodes, I'll read your comments, and I'll try to address any questions that you have in future episodes. And hopefully this is enjoyable. Again, this first episode, this is probably a really rough read through, and they should get a little bit tighter as we go. And like I said, we will have the professional grade audio soon, but I do enjoy the fact that I can connect with you guys in this manner, and we'll keep it up. I'll try not to be so formal. I felt pretty formal in my delivery on this, and started to loosen up a little bit more towards the end. So I'll try to keep it loose in the later episodes too. So anyways, thanks guys. Thank you for your time and your attention. And if you do like the episode, please click to like each of the episodes that you enjoyed. And please follow the story. Please follow me on Wattpad. The story's on Wattpad and on Kindle Vella, depending on your preference. Like I said, we will have audio coming out, professional audio on Audible, iTunes, and Amazon, available sometime after September 1st. I'll update you on that. On other episodes, we have some other things in the work as far as maybe television, movie type of things. I can't really go into details on that, but there are efforts in place on that. That's all I can really say. So anyways, thanks again for your time, and looking forward to seeing you on the next episode. Take care.